The young German girl who has basically been dubbed the anti-Greta simply because she dares to question the science, so-called, around what she's being taught at school about climate change. And she's spoken in America. She's posts her own material online. She's very questioning. As I said, we had a terrific response when she was last on the show. But now the German authorities are threatening to jail her because she is not klimatfreundlich, which means she's not climate friendly. This is scary, scary stuff. Naomi Seibt, welcome back to Outsiders. How are you?
Hi, thank you so much for inviting me back on your show, and I'm fantastic. I'm doing very well, despite the allegations from the German state media authorities.
Well, talk us through that, and thanks for staying up. It's very late at night in Germany. Thanks for staying up to chat to us. What on earth has happened here? Talk us through the story.
So a couple of months ago, I got a letter from the German state media authorities telling me that I have to take down 3 of my videos because, as you said, they were not climate friendly. And allegedly, I posted those videos in the name of the Heartland Institute and violated product placement law because I was working with the Heartland Institute for a couple of months between January and March this year. But the issue is that the first 2 of those videos that I posted, I made those videos before I had anything to do with the Heartland Institute, so they were completely unrelated to the think tank, and I made them because I do stand by what I say, and I do question the science, the alleged science behind the climate change mainstream agenda, because I truly believe in this kind of stuff, and I do believe that most climate activists actually don't know what they're talking about, and there's so much propaganda being put out there that we need to push against, and we need to fight for more climate realism and freedom of speech again. And so once again, we can see that the state is actively trying to go against people like me and trying to silence us, which is just, yeah, it is shocking indeed, because it reminds me of the tactics that the state used in the DDR in Germany.
Yeah, well, it's not only the activists, isn't it, Naomi? You were terrific in an interview with Piers Morgan, who embarrassed himself by completely verbaling you. You were very clear and accurate in what you said. We played parts of it on this show, and this buffoon, this buffhead, Piers Morgan, basically completely misrepresented what you had said, but you always stand firmly and clearly by your thoughts and your ideas. Tell us what your latest thoughts are on climate change, how it's unravelling in Europe or in Germany. Certainly there seems to be a lot politically happening on the climate change front in Germany.
Well, yes, right now, of course, the coronavirus is the main topic globally, and so climate change has been pushed to the side a little bit, but then the climate alarmists came back and tried to abuse this crisis of the coronavirus for their climate change agenda. And now it's the same with feminism, actually. I see all those climate activists posting about the connections between the coronavirus and how amazing it is that nature is thriving again, and they make they talk about how we are emitting less CO2, which is actually false. And even if that's true, it doesn't matter, because the main issue is I do not believe, or I'm quite sure actually, looking into the science, that there is no causal relationship between man-made CO2 emissions and climate change or global warming.
Rita.
I'm just wondering, I'm confused about under what authority these German officials are asking you to remove some YouTube videos. You're a teenager, like a lot of teenagers, you upload material on the internet. Under what laws are they targeting you, and are they doing the same to those who are spreading alarmist, obviously fake information about climate change on the other side of the argument?
Of course not. This is just humiliation, and it is just because I am allegedly threatening the climate-friendly movement, and therefore I'm posing a threat to something that they deem a very honourable pursuit, which is climate activism. But, of course, that is absolutely abominable because they don't even allow me to question the climate change narrative, and that is the main issue. I don't put my propaganda out there. I tell people, question what I say, but I haven't encountered a single climate alarmist or climate activist who can come at me with their counter-arguments and actually debunk what I have to say.
James.
So tell me, Naomi, what is it that is so threatening about you that has them turning the entire apparatus of the state on you for pushing out these ideas? I mean, as you said, they aren't going the other way. Is it that there's so much money in renewables now and that it's such a important thing for a lot of people to get subsidies from, that there's a lot of political pressure to keep this whole gravy train running? Is that what it comes down to, or is it a more sinister political motive that you think is behind it?
Probably. I mean, honestly, we are heading towards a more totalitarian society all over the world with the coronavirus as well as with climate change. And the issue is not those topics specifically, but how global governments are dealing with those issues and how they are abusing these crises to push tyranny, actually, and to silence those people who have different opinions or who do their research and try to explain the climate science, for example, to others. Like when I approach a climate alarmist, I ask very simple questions, and the main arguments that they have are arguments like, but 97% of scientists agree that climate change is real, man-made, and dangerous. And that study has been debunked so many times, and it has been misconstrued in such nasty ways. Now I'm talking about these topics on my YouTube channel, which is heavily shadow banned, which is exactly the topic that you just talked about on your show as well. And that is very sad, because I'm just trying to put the truth out there and to allow people to question me and the climate mainstream narrative.
So, Naomi, what are you going to do? They've given you 3 options, one of which is jail, if you don't take down your videos. Are you going to take them down? Are you going to go to jail, be a martyr? What are you going to do?
I will not take those videos down, and I will go to court, and I will fight for my freedom of speech, for sure.
Rita?
Oh, I'm just shocked that they would bully a teenager in this manner. Are you getting support from Germans, or what's the public mood in the way you've been treated? Because it looks like you're being victimised.
Well, I have many supporters all over the world, very good friends. But in Germany, I don't have much support, unfortunately. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to reach out to the media. I will probably make a press release about this. I've got some friends who've got contacts all over the world, and we will make this public, and we will show the world what's going on. And even if I have to pay the fine in the end, even if I lose the case, it doesn't matter to me, because this is exactly what they didn't want. They didn't want the climate skepticism movement to become public and to talk about the climate science. And this is what's going to happen. Even if we lose, we can't actually lose if people have to listen to what we have to say.
Well, Naomi Seibt, it's always a pleasure to listen to everything you have to say. Thanks so much for coming back on Outsiders, staying up late there in Germany. And good luck, and keep in touch. And Outsiders' thoughts are with you, and our support is here in Australia for you. You can rest assured of that. Thank you, Naomi Seibt.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Much